Go. So the student says, "Hi, Lindsay and Michelle. How are you doing? I'm Yoshihiro, a high school student in Japan. I really enjoy your podcast. Last year, I spent about 9 months in the US as an exchange student. So this podcast helps me stay connected with native English. By the way, I have a question. Is it okay to say lot better? In the recent English classes where we reviewed some grammar points, our teacher listed much, by, far, still, even, plus comparatives to emphasize comparative forms. But I think I've heard lot plus comparatives a couple of times during my stay in the US. I asked her about this, but she told me we don't say it that way. Am I wrong?" Okay. Good question, Yoshihiro. Good question.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I mean, you are really on the right track here. I mean, I think this sounds like a miscommunication between you and your teacher, actually. So that's kind of interesting how these miscommunications can happen, in the classroom and speaking with teachers. So I personally believe that what the confusion was that we say a lot, right?
Yeah.
Or we could say lots, right?
Oh,
right?
yeah. I like that.
Like lots more, lots, right? But typically we would say instead of lot better, a lot better, right, Lindsay?
Yeah, you would never leave it alone, right? You would never just say lot better. That's very weird. So that may be what your teacher was disagreeing with.
Right. So I would say a lot and then a comparative. So exactly. Your teacher, I think maybe what happened was your teacher was unsure of the question, right? But I also think that it would have been better for your teacher to explain that it is correct if you add to lot rather than just saying we don't say it that way, right?
Yeah.
So you must use use a lot, Lindsay, right? I mean, everybody says that.
For sure. I say this a lot, talking about like magnitudes of things, right? Yeah. Extremes, that sort of thing. Yeah, I do say it a lot. Yes, I do say a lot.
a lot. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a great way to, as the listener put it, to add emphasis. And, to review, the way to do this would be to use a word such as a lot and then add a comparative. So what does this do? It makes it sound more intense. It can be in either direction, right? More or less, but a lot, a little, right? We can do another follow-up episode on all the specific ways, to do this, which I think would be good. But for example, with a lot, I could say, "Oh, I'm a lot happier at this job than my previous one," right?
Yeah, I like it. So you're saying, saying a lot plus a comparative. So a lot happier. This is good to have that connection when you talk about, I don't know, what you used to do in your life and what you do now. Right, Michelle?
Right. So, I mean, I could have just said, "I am happier at this job," right? So that's fine too. But if you want to express something in a greater way, a lot is just, a nice thing to add.
Oh, yeah. It adds personality. I mean, we don't want to be boring. That's the last thing we want to be.
No, Lindsay, what's another thing you could say?
Let's see. So these suitcases are a lot bigger than the ones you brought last time. I don't think I can carry them all.
Okay. All right. So again, a lot is just